Hi and welcome to Nerdy Gamers. Today we're not actually going to look at a game, well, not as such. Now I've mentioned in some of my videos that I was actually working on a game myself. Now with all the indie games that I've been looking at, I thought it was time to revive an old game that I've been working on. This is my roguelike game. Now I'm a Flash developer by trade, so one of the things is I'm obviously developing in Flash AS3. Now, one of the things I was looking at doing in time, I'm going to convert this over to, say, Java and a couple other different languages, just so I can get more experience in using those languages, but I also want to develop for my Raspberry Pi and just a few other different systems. Now, this roguelike is currently under very, very early development. I've got some ideas of what I actually want to do with the game itself, but one of the bits I was looking at was the actual the dungeon generation, which can be quite an important thing for a roguelike game. Now what we can do is, purpose of this is just to show you sort of like where we're starting, where we're at the moment. So if I run the project, we'll get this up. There's currently nothing displayed, but the important thing is this. This is the map. This is all randomly generated and be different every single time. I can change the size of this. Now it was done using a few tutorials I kind of found online, altered the code myself for more development later on. What I'll do is I'll make a small map so it's a little bit easier to see. Oops. Now here we go. We'll just stop this running. And now we'll reduce the size to sort of like a nice 25 by 75, so it'll fit on screen a little bit more easily. Okay, run this now. And here we go. Actually, it's not quite where I want it. No, I'll get this at some point. I actually want this further down. Ah, no. Oh, come back. Fine. This is not the right way round. I actually want X to be 75, Y to be 25. Anyway, yeah, so as you can see, it's still in development. This is some old code I was working on last year. I'm just now reviving. So, we're going to bring up the window. View output. There we go. So you go. This is the output, and this is the actual map. So as you can see, we haven't got anything like stairs or anything like this, and we've got little doorways. So each of these represents a single room. Now at the moment, these rooms aren't filled with anything. They're just simply a little square with connections. Now I built this using effectively a graph tree, so that the AI would be able to say, right, this is room 1 and I want to get to this room, so it'll be able to go, right, I can go from here to 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 through there to there, and it'll be able to draw a path. If I delete this room, or for instance this connector gets destroyed, it can then retrace a path, so that's all taken into consideration. And also the way this is designed, each of these rooms I can have its own special environment. So for instance, if I wanted to make it a twisty cavern, we could leave most of this as walls and just do a wandering path through, or I could change the room so it's spherical, so we don't allow the doors in just here, and then we kind of do the edges. So there's different variations I can do for all the room, and it was a simple-ish way of doing it. Now if you see down here there's a straight line. We simply do this by subdivision. So we take the whole area and say divide it in half, or in this place we divide it over here, and then it works in a recursive loop. So then we'll find across here another subdivision, and then we'll see it's subdivided, not enough room. So then it subdivides across here, subdivides across there and there. Then it goes out and back to one of the other nodes that it couldn't do. Subdivide, 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 goes back out, finds all of this. So somewhere around here we'll find a line. This one. No. But there's a line, there we go, another subdivision line there. And then there will undoubtedly be another subdivision line, a subdivision line, and then it's subdivided that way. So it doesn't always guarantee which way it's subdivides, and it just happens to have gone there, that block, that block, that block. And we can see it in another example of the map. I'll have to get that output panel put back down onto this little bit here later. As you can see, the map's ever so slightly different. So that's kind of the first thing that we've got going, and now I need to convert this to a graphical output, and then I'll be able to start introducing characters, some movement, and then I can start introducing enemies and AI, and the AI will work by, if it knows where the character is, then it could go do room hopping, and when it gets into the same room as the player, then it can start navigating internally within the room. And this room and this room both share that same square, so if anything happens to this connecting room, it works on both of them simultaneously. So if that floor gets turned to wall, I simply turn around on both, say, right, that's now wall, because it's your connecting point. We now separate it on both sides, and we preserve the graph. And yeah, so that's where we are on the game at the moment. This is quite early development. I'm just going to go through and kind of finish off some of this, and so like start to get a character in so we can start playing around with it and actually start seeing something. But this will crop up now and again, just kind of show where the development of this is going and where we are. Okay, hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time.